ashamed. But as we spake all things to you in truth, even so our boasting which I made before Titus is found a truth.
Continue on.
Verse 15. And his inward affection is more abundant toward you, whilst he remembereth the obedience of you all, how with fear and trembling you received him.
Continue on.
Verse 16. I rejoice therefore that I have confidence in you in all things.
Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Alright? We rejoice in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We're out here doing the work for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We obey the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because we are a priest in a holy nation unto him. Because as a nation, we entered into the covenants, the law, statutes, and commandments set forth by him. The men of Israel stand up for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We stand up for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It's not ourselves. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai first and foremost. Everything else is secondary. When you understand that it is given unto you, Israel, especially first and foremost the 144,000 Abaratas were of that number, the 1/3, and then the rest 2/3 after they know death by pain, and they come back in the kingdom of Israel. All right. Go ahead.
All right. This is the book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves.
I'm sorry? Read that one more time.
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves.
In the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. All right? For we are stiff-necked people. Pretty hard-headed. Okay? That's what stiff-neck is. My baby ain't got no loose neck. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua said, we got a stiff neck. All right? It's a good, bad thing. It's good because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua made us that way for a reason. So when we have those laws, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts, that we won't even think about thinking of the heathenistic and the shit that we did. Because we got a stiff neck.
This is verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their power.
And know that I'm the Lord their power.
For I give them an heart and ears to hear.
Heart and ears to hear. All right? Read that one more time.
Verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me.
I knew they would not hear me.
Because it is a stiff-necked people.
Because it is a stiff-necked people.
But in the land of their captivities.
But in the land of their captivities. We are in captivity. Thus saith the Bible. Through Deuteronomy, through the curses, we are in captivity. We came over here in slavery. We're still in slavery. They just dressed it up and put a bow on it. They made you think that you're free. You still pick cotton. You still take your ass to work. You still pay bills. You still pay fucking car insurance. You pay car insurance whether you get in an accident or not. All right? Whether you're supposed to keep insurance whether you have a car or not. Okay? You pay for health. You pay for your health care. You pay for water. Water! You can't find clean water. You gotta pay for it. You are in slavery. All right? They keep you broke. Continue.
And it says, they shall remember themselves.
Shall remember ourselves. How? Through this heritage book. Through the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, giving us the code. all right, to decrypt the book of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that is made for who? The Israelites, and the Israelites alone. So anybody else trying to teach it, trying to understand it, you're not going to understand it. But what you will understand is your judgment. You want to understand why you have the judgment, but you'll understand the judgment if you read it. You understand there's a judgment, you might not understand that's you until you go to the prophets, men of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai of Israel that know, starting with Apostle Tahar on down, all right, that know the laws, statutes, and commandments, that are prophets, apostles, to decipher it for you. Then you will understand the judgments and why you are being judged. You might not like it if you're not of Israel, but you're going to accept it either way. And it's not my words. This is thus saith the Bible. Thus saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right?
The book of Job, chapter 2, verse 10. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Therefore also now saith the Lord, turn ye even to me with all your heart.
Turn ye unto me with even all your heart, with your mind, okay?
And with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rent your heart, and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai your power.
With fasting, with weeping, with mourning. So if you're in a house where you're always happy and you're laughing and everything's fun and this captivity is happy and you're living your best life. Woo! YOLO! I'm doing it all. Life is so great. All right? If that's what you're doing, you're not in the right spirit. Continue.
For he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil.
God. Repenteth of the evil. All right? So if Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, if you would obey the law, statutes, and commandments, repent, and repentance is only for Israel, because, I mean, who received the law, statutes, and commandments? Israel, all right? So if you're of any other nation, you can't repent. I mean, you can say you repent, but it doesn't matter because the law's not for you.
I don't even know how to repent.
You know? But if you fast, you pray, work out your salvation with fear and trembling, all right? Call upon the name Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, come back to your power. Your power. All right? That was it, right?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Oh, well, here's that thing again. Here's that thing again. Did he just say, I mean, like, you brothers are taller than me, I would say, like, you're above me, right? Like, I sort of look up to you because you're above, I mean, higher above me, right? Like, this tree is above us. All right? This leaf that you can see is above me. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai ordained it to be that way. Don't be mad, that's just what it is. Read Deuteronomy 15. 15, verse verse 15. Come.
This is verse 15. But it shall come to pass that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of thy Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So once again, because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments, these curses came upon us and overtook us. All right? Matter of fact, let's get the account where Aaron built the calf. I think it was Deuteronomy 13.
Aaron built the what?
He built the golden calf. Built the golden calf. Slovakia. No. Go ahead and look it up. Oh, your phone says that. Slovakia. It's in Deuteronomy. I know there's a count in Deuteronomy. I just can't think of it. Chapter 2. Yes, Exodus 32. Okay, there's that one, Exodus 32, but I know which one it is. But you can get the Exodus 32. That may have it. So Exodus 32 and 1. No, just before we go. So this is
Okay, Exodus 32 and 4.
So we'll go through it right now. I'm almost there.
And there's also Exodus 32 and 19.
So this is the book of Exodus 32, verse 4. Oh, it's Slovakia. Let's start at
Verse 4, verse 19, verse 8.
yeah. Let's start at
Let's start at 19. Verse Moses, verse Last time.
no. I want to give the account. We're gonna start at 32 and 1. We're gonna read the account. So read 1 through 4,
Okay.
and then you read Exodus 19. 32.
Okay, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 1.
This is the account where we went off. All right. This is one of the accounts where we went off, but this is how we got those curses instead of the blessing. Slovakia, we got the blessing, but it was still the curses that fell upon us from disobeying the law, statutes, and commandments.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
Hold that. Exodus 20 and 1 through 2.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And power spake, and Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thy power, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Keep going.
Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
sorry. No other powers. Go ahead and put it in the words that are in the book. All right.
Starting from the top. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Go ahead and read that again.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mountain, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
Okay, so no other gods. But yet, we ask Aaron, who is with Moses, deliver us out of Egypt, all right, who Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai sent, to deliver us out of Egypt, to make a graven image, a god, a false idol, okay?
This is verse 2. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. Verse 3. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. Verse 4. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Verse 5. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Wait a minute. Okay, now go back. Exodus 20. Continue reading.
This is verse 6. And they rose up early on the morrow, and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play.
Okay. Go ahead.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
Not bow down or serve. Okay? Not bow down or serve. No graven image, not bow down or serve. All right? And we're going over this account right here to understand why the law, statutes, and commandments that we disobeyed while we're under this curses. All right?
For I, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, thy power, am a jealous God.
Well, once again, we're back at this point once again. Slacking. Jealous God. We're not even, because, just continue. Slacking.
For I, thy Lord, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments.
To keep my commandments. All right? I visited you to the third and fourth generation because you didn't obey the laws, statutes, and commandments. But those that did and that love me and keep my commandments. Go ahead and read.
This is Exodus chapter 32, verse 7. Okay, here we go. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. Verse 8. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf. And
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, you go back. Hold that. Go to Exodus 20. We're going to point it out once again. Go to Exodus 20. And start at verse 4 again.
Verse 4?
Yeah, come on. You can even start at verse 5, but I like verse 4. Start at verse 4. Go 4 through 5.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Any graven image, or a likeness that is in heaven or above. Where's a calf? What is a calf?
An animal.
An animal. Does it reside in space? If it did, it doesn't matter. Because not above, or in earth, or beneath. Okay? Go ahead and finish that. Just read 4 through 5.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5, Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me.
I mean, what else do you need?
Book of Exodus chapter 32, verse 15. And he said unto him, If thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace?
You did. You
Oh,
read
I'm at
wrong.
32.
You were wrong.
Slack me. Exodus chapter 32, verse 15. And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand.
So those are the tables of the testimony, the law, statutes, and commandments. You remember that movie, The 10 Commandments? Okay, there was more than 10 commandments, but that's to give people an imagery in their mind to understand what we're talking about. The law, statutes, and commandments set forth. All right, and Moses was a so-called Negro, black. Okay?
And the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both their sides, one on the one side, and on the other were they written. And the tables were the work of power, and the writing was the writing of Yahweh, graven upon the table.
God.
And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, There is a noise of war in the camp.
There's a noise of war in the camp.
And he said, It is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We just entered this covenant with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, the law, statutes, and commandments. We're not supposed to bow down to any graven image, make a likeness of any graven image, all right? To obey, to serve any other God, all right? That means have a party for any other God, for anything. Have a feast for any other God, all right? But it wasn't a sound of war. They was turning up. In today's language, they were turning up, getting lit, having a good time, having a feast, having a festival, having a good old time. Continue.
And he said, It is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf, and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot.
Moses said, wax hot. Moses said, y'all crazy? We just entered in a covenant with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh that brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of bondage, and y'all over here turn it up. You're over here going off already. Continue.
And Moses' anger waxed hot.
Wax hot. Hot. Not lukewarm, not cool. He didn't play it off. He was hot. Continue.
And he cast the tables out of his hands and brake them beneath the mount.